Ah, 1.8 hectares comes out to about a little less than 4.5 acres. So what the heck do you do with 4.5 acres? You know, in this area of the world, not much. Can't even have a farm. Not a useful farm, at least. You have a few chickens, 2 cows, a couple horses. You know. But that is the size of a vineyard in France called Romanée-Conti. And they make wine that is absolutely spectacular. And the whole world knows it. So the whole world wants it. Now what happens to something that the whole world wants? That is a very, very small, finite amount every year. The price is crazy. It didn't used to always be like that, but in the last 20 years, Domaine de la Romanée-Conti, specifically the Romanée-Conti vineyard, has gone up multiples in value. It's truly wild. It is the wine of basically the billionaires. It's not the 1%ers, it's the 0.01%ers. It's drinking wine that is anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a bottle is not quite your Tuesday budget. Now think about that. What that takes for a small inn in Boyce, Virginia, in the countryside in Clark County. What does it take for a restaurant to acquire a bottle like that? It's not just the money. When there's very, very small amounts of that wine distributed, as you can imagine, such a small acreage, how much wine can you really produce? A few thousand bottles. That's it. So a few bottles come to the state each year. That's all it is. It's usually a handful, less than usually 9, sometimes 12 for the whole state. Usually it's 3 to 6 bottles. That's it. So you have to work with distributors, figure who the importer is. They're exclusively imported by Wilson Daniels. They have been for years. So you have to build a relationship with that. You have to carry their wines. You have to have a working relationship with them. They provide wonderful wines from around the world. And so, when you ask them for a wine like that, they have to basically take it from someone else's allocation. So over the years, we've been able to get a couple of these bottles. They were the crown jewels of our wine cellar. And several other bottles from that same producer, Domaine de la Romanée-Conti. Echezos, Corton, Grand Echezos, Romanée Saint-Vivant, Richebourg, Latache, incredibly famous vineyard. That's their second sort of most famous, called Latache. Yesterday, 2 people posed as prospective clients that wanted to host an event here. And they wanted to see the space. And they were working for someone, supposedly, you'll see more later, that wanted to do an event for 20 to 25 people. And they were very particular about their wine. They want to make sure that the wine cellar was, on location and, was actually climate controlled. And the condition of the wines, because they were very particular about that. Kind of a strange little thing to say, but not that unusual. And after a little tour of the dining room, things like that, they wanted to see the wine cellar, which is very common, believe it or not. And we have an award-winning wine cellar. We're a 2-glass award, the Grand Award, our best of excellence from Wine Spectator, 2 glasses out of 3. It's a very hard distinction to get. So we're always proud to show people our wine cellar. And I took them down, just the 2 of them. They actually just the lady was very interested in certain wines for her client. She had to report back to her boss that everything was okay, and she has lots of questions about the area because she wasn't that familiar with it, and she wanted to see if there was any local wines. So I showed them a few wines that were local, things like that. So she did a very good job of distracting me. The gentleman was able to take several bottles of these incredibly hard to find bottles that cost a lot of money to us. And they're very easy to spot if you know what you're looking for. Every bottle has a certain color capsule, for instance. So if you know what a top of a Romanée-Conti bottle looks like, it doesn't take very long to spot it. It has a very unique little neck around it with the wording. So he took several bottles in his coat that was, I'm sure, sort of, pre-fit to fit multiple wine bottles in there. They kind of all of a sudden abruptly ended the conversation saying, oh, everything's great. Okay, we're going to go now, yada, yada. The assistant upstairs has all information. We're going to go. Thank you so much. We have to go. it was at that point things got a little uneasy for me. We're walking back up the wine cellar. It's locked normally, but during service hours it is open. That's going to change very soon. Get to the bar area, and I knew immediately something was off, so I ran down to the cellar, and I just went to the most valuable place I could find, where some of our Romanee-Conti bottles are kept, and they're just missing, and they're actually replaced with 2 pretty poorly done replicas with screw caps on it. So it was pretty easy to tell immediately that those were not the real thing. So it's just shock took me over for a second before I was able to react. We ran upstairs. I found a new member of the staff, Matt. Oh my gosh, what a champ he was. He's been working here for 4 or 5 days. And I told him, stop them, stop them. He started running immediately, didn't even hesitate. It was amazing. I don't know how someone has that much of a vested interest in their business for being here for such a short time, but it shows his character. It was really great. We ran through the bar. They were already outside at that point. Everyone heard the commotion. The other staff members heard the commotion. They jumped in as well. It was absolutely incredible to see everyone willing to do whatever they possibly could, not even realizing truly what the situation was about. So our team, their character is just beyond reproach. It was really humbling to see that. Yeah. So saw them way down the driveway, realizing that their car was not in the parking lot. Like, well, this is not good. So someone who has a partially torn Achilles tendon, has surgery scheduled in January. I did my best. I ran as fast as I could under immense amount of pain, chasing these people. Their car was parked down 340, I would say maybe 100 yards or so, maybe further down the road, just kind of out of sight, in the grass in this little pull-in area. Was able to catch up to the car as he was closing the door. He was waiting for the woman to make it there. She didn't quite get inside yet. I opened the door. Big sort of tussle ensued, trying to get him out of the car in any way I could. Unfortunately, he already had the car in drive, and it was pretty dramatic. He's trying to speed away. The tires are spinning. I'm holding on to the car, realizing I am not much of a match of this is a Mazda SUV that he had, a rental car that we found out from Jersey, so it wasn't his car, unfortunately. That I probably didn't stand a good chance being run over. It wouldn't fare very well for me, so I let go of the car. And this is the most amazing part of the story. A patron, just an absolute legend, wanted to help as well. He knew something was pretty serious, and just by my reaction of running through the bar. He wanted to help in any way he could, and he jumped in his beautiful Porsche. Unfortunately, tried to block the car from leaving. Unfortunately, ended up someone hitting him, getting into an accident. It was, oh, what a shame for the car. I was able to, in that little instance, because he did that, the girl was able to be removed from the vehicle as he was speeding away from Matt holding on to her. I believe that's what happened. A little fuzzy, so a lot happened in a short amount of time. At that point, he was speeding away, zoomed in on my camera, took any pictures I could. I did get one good picture of the license plate. The police were called. They showed up. Immense amount of confusion. Can you imagine a local police officer showing up and saying, oh, there's an accident here I'm responding to. There's wine stolen. What's going on? Who's this woman? Oh, wait, there's a car escaping. What is happening? So it was quite a confusing, tense moment for the local police department at first until we were able to sort of explain the situation. State troopers and the fire department arrived very quickly afterwards for the accident. The lady was detained, thankfully. She had many completely fabricated, implausible stories that she was held against her will and she was going to be beaten up. She met him on a cruise ship and she just met him walking down the street. And I don't know if you've ever been to our restaurant. There's no sidewalks on 340 in any direction for miles. So I basically just told her to be quiet. That would be the best thing for her. Fortunately, 2 of the bottles, an Etchezo and a Grand Etchezo, were dropped. Unfortunately, they were not the very expensive Romanee-Conti. Those both got taken, unfortunately, as well as a Corton Rouge, a Richebourg, which took us years and years to acquire. That's a very rare wine because they don't own a lot of that particular vineyard. And a Romanée Saint Vivant. It was a very, very chaotic 1 minute, maybe even less. But it's just immensely sad that somebody would do that. You know, you want to trust people. I love having a trusting and loving heart. You know, my daughters have trusting and loving hearts, and I love that. I love that character that they have, and I don't want them to lose that, and I don't want to show them that you should never trust people. I don't know if it was Winston Churchill said, you know, trust but verify, so I might be doing a little more of that for a while. We did and are going to continue to increase some of these security measures and you know, security on our wine cellar and things like that, so hopefully that'll improve and never happen again. But it was a really extreme situation. They had wigs on, fake facial hair, the whole thing. It was very well done, very well rehearsed. They obviously knew we had those wines, especially with the decoy bottles being of the same type that they stole. So, you know, our wine list is available online. You can see what we have. We're very proud of our wine cellar. We've been collecting for decades. My mother before me, I took it over in 2007, you know, for all the wine buying. It's a huge investment for us for a little small business like us. We try to create something really special here in the middle of nowhere in Clark County, Virginia. It's a beautiful area. I love this place. And I don't know if it's rage or just sadness that I have in my heart right now. It's pretty upsetting. I don't know how to feel. You know, some of the money will be replaced with insurance, but I just feel really violated. And I hope whoever one person is caught in custody and, you know, they're being held without bond. I hope they get everything that the law extends to as far as punishment, because, you know, it's a lot of money. And it was very intentional and very malicious. I hate it. Anyways, our staff is awesome. We have a beautiful place here, and except for those wines that are no longer on the wine list as of today, we really hope we can share some of the joy and passion that we have for these wines, this food that we have here. We have a huge team in the kitchen. They're all very talented. They work so hard. They're here 12 hours a day at least, longer for holidays. They've been prepping all morning for certain things for Thanksgiving already. You know, we're a week away, and they have lots of work to do. You know, it's anyways, that's enough about that. I hope we can see you in the future. I hope we see you soon, even tonight if you want to come by. Either way, I will be here. I will be sharing my passion for these wines. Probably quite a few less cellar tours for the time being. We'll see what our new procedure is for that. You know, maybe I'll get a credit card first. But I'm trying to get my sense of humor back. I'm usually pretty chuckly, and I'm usually all smiles all the time. So this is unusual for me to be this angry and sad and just disappointed. I wish I could have did more, but everything's 2020. You know, I think we all did our best considering the situation, and hopefully they'll catch the other person that is at large. So, on a little fine point, P.S., if you have any information whatsoever, please contact the Clark County Sheriff's Department. If anyone approaches you from a cellar reduction or, I'm a collector, I have Domaine Romanée-Conti wines to sell, they're all serial numbered, so I will be posting those serial numbers here. The importer knows what those serial numbers are, and they're sharing it with all the auction houses and restaurants that might be possible. Unfortunately, these wines are so well sought after that it'll probably be an international sort of trade. They're probably gone already, is my guess. You know, some rich guy in Hong Kong, Singapore, London, doesn't matter. You know, even if they pay 2/3 the price, they're going to think, oh, I'm getting a great deal, you know. Hopefully they try to verify it by looking up the numbers. I don't know what else to say, but thank you, everyone, so much for supporting us over the years. For the people that were here last night and saw a little bit of a commotion and all the police lights, now you understand what happened. Sorry for interrupting your evening in any way. I do apologize about that, and we hope to see you soon. And with lots of love from the Burrell family and everybody here at L'Auberge Provençale. Have a good day. and good night.